Hi, it's me, Marcy. For a long time now, I've loved the pick classes in TF2. Spy and Sniper are my two main characters. I feel like Spy is talked to death, and so we all know everyone's opinions on his weapons. Sniper, however, doesn't get that same attention. Of course, this is most likely because any Sniper main with real genuine love for the class is silenced from the hate on Sniper bots in the past. Playing the class everyone hated for half a decade brings with it at least some slight feelings of shame and even guilt. But no longer, because I love this New Zealand nuisance far too much not to say something. So here are my thoughts and views on all of snipers. Now, before I say anything about the rifles, I want to clear something up right now. Yes, Sniper's counterplay is ass, sure. But to those of you who still have a hard time with the Sniper killing you from the same sightline for the third time and are repeating the saying over and over, you're genuinely just stupid. Look, I get it. No prior indication to where Sniper is looking outside of the red dot. Hit scan kills, and majority of mains are cocky assholes. But I'm red-green colorblind, meaning I can barely see the red dot in the first place, and I still don't get killed more than once or twice on a sightline unless I go counter Sniper on that same line. Then I get fucked up for a while. Every initial interaction with Sniper usually is annoying or unexpected. I don't know how the community hasn't just gotten used to this already and gotten some thicker skin. You got killed. The Sniper probably won't change sightlines. Take a flank route and kill them or something. The stock rifle is the fucking pinnacle of balance for this character in my opinion. The thing that gets me about stock is the damage. Unscoped 50 damage, scoped body shot with full charge 150 damage, and scoped headshot with full charge 450 damage. Think for a second how perfect these numbers are. 50 damage is good for finishing up after using your melee or SMG on someone, 150 takes out light classes, and 450 is exactly what you need to kill a pocketed heavy. All of these numbers piss people off though, so let me say what balances this out. The charge timer. Only after being scoped in for the full charge time, around 3 seconds, can you hit these shots. 3 seconds sounds like nothing to most people, but in that time you can get backstabbed, headshot by other snipers, or caught out by classes like Scout, Soldier, or even Demo who have good mobility options to close the distance and kill you. Stock rifle is amazingly balanced, and so long as only real players are using it, it will stay that way. Getting a silver bot killer of this is what got me into Sniper in the first place, and I'm thankful that it was, because this is just peak weapon design. The Sydney Sleeper is a Koth map favorite of mine. Forget the charge time determining how long the Gerardi lasts. Just hitting anyone on the point with this is amazing. Mini crits help a lot during a push to the point, and weakening the other team's defense like this is invaluable on Koth specifically. Other than this, the piss rifle is really just that, weakening the enemy team as opposed to taking out targets. This unfortunately makes it really specific to that scenario, rather than having the many options to stomp the front or back lines as you please with other rifles. Of course, this can be used pretty effectively outside of Koth. Any sort of choke point is made easier by the not-so-random appearance of mini-crits. If I'm not using stock, I'm using the Sydney Sleeper because as much as I like making the big picks and killing lots of targets, I also just really like helping out my team by making their kills a bit easier to get. Oh look, a bow and arrow. Soundsmith can tell you all about the special stats that this thing doesn't have listed. The reason I seriously put this thing in my primary slot is when a map has a lot of, or entirely consists of small spaces. Flicking and hitting shots becomes a lot easier when your enemy has a lot less places to go. Still doesn't mean I'll hit anything, but, you know, it helps. As I've been recording with it though, I find that it's very fun to learn the arc of the arrows and just generally get a better feel for it. I do feel like there's a lot of skill in using this weapon despite the whole bounding box teleportation thing. Actually getting to that bounding box is what balances this weapon out in my opinion. Okay, so I have used this outside of MVM one time, and I didn't like it. Now, I didn't hate it. Murdering people on 2-4 was fun. But it didn't really feel all that special. Faster charge time isn't too amazing to me when hitting a headshot gets the job done pretty quickly in any situation. But also, if I don't hit the headshot, this thing has a 20% damage reduction, which is awful. The focus mechanic is also particularly annoying because being unable to unscope for the duration of its effects gets you killed so often by flanking scouts and other threats because you couldn't unscope and run away. Not a great choice in my opinion. Keep it to MVM. The Bazaar bargain is really fun, and I get why a lot of snipers like it. But the thing is, at maximum head count, I feel dirty. I don't really like stomping people too much personally. I lose the feeling of a good challenge and engaging gameplay when that happens. Now, if I'm not aiming that great, it's fine. But a lot of the time I've noticed I enter a fucking flow state with this rifle for no reason and keep destroying lobbies with it. Not good, stinky. It's still kind of cool though. Big ass weenie gun. The 15% more damage only happens on a fully charged shot, meaning at only full charge, after surviving all the risks that come with staying scoped in, do you hit for 173 damage. All the same classes from before still die, and Demo is left at 2 health. Anything else has a good amount of health left to escape. And you would think that having the shots penetrate through players is nice and helps with getting even more kills, but it really doesn't. There's very few situations in which I have gotten this to work, one of these times being a heavy and their pocket med through both of their heads, which sadly I never clipped. Hitting the penetrations does feel amazing, but there's so few instances where the enemy decides to stand all in a line for you. If you're looking to farm these, I guess go to 2 for it, or maybe harvest and look down this side of the main building. The classic is, it's something. Rather than scoping to charge and clicking to shoot, instead you hold the mouse 1 button to charge and can choose to scope independently. Unclicking to kill is a very different feel, but not impossible to get used to. Personally, I see this rifle as something very similar to the Huntsman. It's a funny weapon and good for quickly spy checking behind you. Other than that, the 10% damage reduction on body shot is pretty disappointing, and experiencing a no-scope headshot is pretty insane. I will say, however, snipers who like the classic are absolutely destructive with this thing. Me hitting a no-scope head with this thing is like rolling a d20 where every side is 1, except for the side with the 20 on it. It is pure insane luck. But the people who love this gun roll that 20 every single time, and I don't understand how. Unfortunately, the way I see it, everything but stock is either not fun to use or too difficult or impractical to use. Stock will always be my favorite. Maybe I'll give them each a longer individual trial in the future, but as it stands now, for consistent kills without any downsides or extremely situational buffs, I'd say stock is best. Unless you want less consistent kills but a way bigger hit of dopamine, then just use the Huntsman. The reason I seriously put this thing in my primary slot... I'm sorry, I've had a burp stored up. This is going to be hell for you to edit later. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. 3 in a row.